Thank you for joining us. This is Health Your Own Way podcast, and I am your host, Mo Atkins. Welcome to another episode. Today, we're going to be discovering how to live a pain-free life. And my guest today is Kate Redford. She's an osteopathic, manual practitioner, registered massage therapist, and a rehab personal trainer, and believes her mission is to empower people to heal themselves. So I want to say thank you for being part of my platform and welcome.
Yay. Thanks, Mo. Thank you. This is so much fun. And I appreciate you creating this platform for people like me. It's amazing. And for all the people listening, it's like amazing to be able to get this kind of information. So thank you.
I appreciate it. And I say the same thing because there's so much information out there, but there's never too many because not everybody is exposed to everybody. Like there's different platform, different audience. Like you have a different audience than I am. So it's just like cross platform and trying to educate everybody on different aspects of life.
Oh, yes. That's it.
With that said, what does it mean to live a pain-free life for you? Like it's a nice word. Okay.
Nice phrase.
Yes, nice phrase. Thank you. But what does
It's
it
pretty
mean?
hard.
Yes.
So, what I feel is the main ingredient for living a pain free life for myself and the people I help is really creating the best toolbox you can so that you have tools that you can use in your daily life every day that will help bring your body out of that pain state and into a more pain free state or calm state or relaxed state or whatever it is that you need. Because a lot of times, there's different kinds of pain. There's physical pain, there's an emotional pain, there's anxiety, there's so much mental health out there too. And I don't claim to be an expert in that. I more claim to be an expert in the physical pain, but they're related. So that toolbox that you're using to help your physical ailments can really be helpful for the emotional ones too. And for example, like I don't live in chronic pain because I know how to get out of it really quickly because I teach it and I've taken a million courses. So, for instance, if I wake up with a sore neck, I know the two exercises I need to do, for like 5 minutes that day, and then I know the next day it's gone. And that's what I love to teach others, right? And I also know that if I wake up, when I'm my pregnancies, my right hip would start to get nervy. Ugh, the nervy pain's bad, and I know exactly the exercises to do and the breathing I need to do the next day, so that I'm not in that pain. And that's again what I like to teach others. So it's really all about a daily program that you can do easily at home with tools that really, really work.
And like when you're talking, like you can tell that you're actually sincere about this because some people just like I'm sorry, some people just sell this. So I guess to my question is why to you are you passionate about this? Like what like is it something from your own experience or do you see other people and you're just like why are you in pain? I can help you fix or teach you. Like I guess the question is why are you so passionate about it?
So that's a great question because again, like I said, I don't live in chronic pain, but I do live with chronic digestive issues that I'm always, always needing to be really conscious about healing each day and making it better. Even as a baby, my mom said I had issues. And even as, 5-year-old, I can remember having digestive. That's where my stress goes. So I can really relate to the chronic issue piece, not the chronic pain piece. And I had this amazing opportunity for the last sort of 7 years where I worked in a clinic where we got referrals from a pain doctor.
Oh,
And that was the biggest education of my entire career because I was working with people that didn't have a sore back, that didn't have a sore neck, that didn't have one thing. They had so many symptoms, and it was brain fog and
oh,
dizziness and really not a lot of muscle mass because and then the emotional piece, like the lack of motivation. Like, yeah, I was like, okay, we'll do this and this and this every day, and they're like, yeah, on
yeah,
my
not
good day I'll
happening.
try.
Yeah.
But it was such an education, and I was like, heck, if I can help those people, I can help anybody.
No, that's
And I
fair.
really, yeah, I really also learned the piece on like how to talk to people like that because it was a whole different way of talking to patients who were that compromised on a daily basis. And I think that's just sparked my enthusiasm for being able to help people with chronic issues.
You left me speechless. So you did. You left me speechless Because like you have to understand, I talk to people almost like a weekly basis, and sometimes some are just, and others are just like you, that are nice to hear from.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
I think for it, while you're saying this, what are some of the misconceptions that you think society as a whole or people are not empowered to educate themselves? Because you said there's some people who lack motivation, but sometimes I feel like it's more than that. What are your thoughts?
So my thoughts on that, I had four main thoughts. And one is it's really important what people that I've learned, what people hear obviously from their doctor and people like me, like what I say, I have to be careful, you know? So any practitioner, any person who you're going to who you believe knows a bit more because of their training than you do about the body, but really you're the only expert on your own body, I believe. But when you get that diagnosis or when you get that phrase that, oh, well, you'll just take these meds for the rest of your life, or, oh, there's nothing you can do. So I'll see you in 6 months and we'll just reevaluate. So when people get that kind of information, it's the worst because they believe it, right? And it that becomes a big hurdle to overcome that they can actually really shift their own health. And then, so that's number one. And number two is economics, sadly. I struggle with the fact that I'm expensive. Like when
You
I
too?
do my, I,
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry,
I
sir. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
but I mean, I'm so lucky here in Canada that we have access to healthcare and it's free with our OHIP card. However, I'm not free. And I feel like I'm a really important piece for a lot of people. And so access, I mean, a lot of people through their job here have coverage, which is phenomenal. It's not enough for probably what they need, but it helps. So the economics piece, I'm working on that. I'm working on that,
Well,
how
you
I
have
can
to
get
have a living
access.
too. You need to pay
Pardon?
bills. I said you have to have a living as well. You
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to
yeah,
pay
yeah, yeah.
bills.
Yeah, but I am working on sort of a way to create more access for people.
Fair enough.
That is part of my mission. So stay tuned. But that definitely is a limiting factor for some people, of course. And then the other thing I would say is their own beliefs. So is another limiting factor to healing your pain naturally is your own beliefs about it. And that's just because you live in a world where you're bombarded with mainstream information that doesn't promote that you can really do it. And the fourth thing, I made notes. So I'm actually just going to look at the fourth thing because I can't remember. Where is it? Oh, how another really important piece because I knew this was important, so that's why I looked. So the fourth thing is how long the person has had the chronic issue. So for example, I want to tell you about this person I worked with. I learn everything I know from the people I work with. Okay. I get the textbook information, but when I really learn is from you. So this person, Sue, I worked with, she could remember having back pain as a 5-year old. I mean, she can just remember this was an issue forever. Then she went and had 4 pregnancies. The fifth one was twins. Then she had to raise 5 kids. So she did a lot in her life with a lot of pain. She would take her cushions everywhere to sit if she went to someone's house. She was managing as best she could. I started working with her when she was in her late 60s, and she's
Sorry,
now
this is 55 years old. This is 55 years of pain.
yeah, 60 plus. Yeah. Yeah, no, you did your math. You're right. 5 years well, you remember. Five plus. She was late 60s. Now she's 82. And she's never been less pain free as she is now and in the last decade because we came a long way together. And all we did together and all she did on her own was exercise. Latterly, she did, she went to a naturopath and she also does a meditation class. Like she's very diligent with her exercises. She goes to the right classes for her and all that stuff. And she sees me regularly, but she really did it, is my point. And she's 82. And I keep saying to her, you're just going to keep getting better. That's how the body is designed. You're giving it what it needs. And this is the design. So when she gets a blip in her healing, she always gets better. She always gets better. So that is, again, my biggest education is people like that. I mean, I believe that and I know the body's capable of that. But when I see it and then I get to pump her to remember that that's what's happened to her, it's just that's what that's what makes me want to sit here and tell everyone about this.
It's fair enough because I find, like as you said, a lot of people, maybe in Canada per se, there's certain type of benefits, and then there's corporate benefits. A lot of people don't take advantage of that benefit, and even then, some people don't understand why they need to take that benefit. Like people don't. I see it a lot. It's really bad, and I think besides a lot of people taking advantage of not so sorry besides being one of the benefits of not being in pain, which is not being in pain, are there other benefits that people should be aware of seeking information like this that will help them in their health?
Yeah. So again, I like to tell you information by what I've learned from the people I've worked with because I just think it makes it more clear. So I'll just tell you about Mary. So Mary, I've been working with for the last 3 months, and really quickly. So she was living. I always ask people to gauge their pain on a pain scale. So from 10 being excruciating, awful, to 0 being none. And she said she was living in general like a 6, 7 out of 10, which I think is really high. And quickly, she started, really regularly with the exercises and the breathing practice. And she got herself down quite quickly down to, well, let's say 3 out of 10. But the kicker was to get her down. She calls herself a point 0.5 now out of 10. She really, so my program is about obviously posture and breath. I've been keep talking about that. So the exercises that you need to shift and the breathing, because they're obviously very related. The better we breathe, the better we move, the better we move, the better we breathe. Huge connection there. So once you get that nailed down, then there's the third part of the program that's all about retraining your brain. And the second we can start shifting perspective and getting clearer and less overwhelmed, then we get a lot more clarity on the pain and the cause. And that's what happened to Mary. So she got her pain down to a 3 out of 10. Boom, yay. But I'm like, there's more. There's more. We got to get it down lower, right? I don't want her ceiling. Her ceiling was here. Now it's here. I want her ceiling to be here. And so we cleaned up her, it sounds maybe a little silly and simple, but when she cleaned up all the things that were irritating her in her environment, which is a big piece of what I get people I work with to do, she then realized she was literally feeling physically bogged down
Oh,
and emotionally bogged down with her environment. And when she fixed that up and got, because you can only focus this, the research shows, on 3 to 7 things. And so if you don't even know it. If you're consciously being taken away through your day by seeing that pile of whatever in the corner or see, and it's not that you have to live in a beautiful environment, it's just what's irritating you about it that you're even maybe not even aware of. But when I ask people in chronic pain this question, they're like, oh, I have a laundry list of things I could tell you that irritate me. And it's irritating in relationships, and it's irritating at work, or it's irritating their work schedule. Or so we were working all that, all those aspects with Mary. And she was realizing, I don't connect with enough people. I love my friends, but I'm not reaching out enough. And when she reached out more, that was another player into decreasing the stress in her shoulders and her pain. So she just, by going through these steps, what you realize is there's many different causes, that things in your life that are causing your pain. And yes, posture will be probably one of them. And yes, breathing will be probably one of them. But then there's these other things that you're not linking necessarily with your physical symptoms. So that with Mary was really exciting because that was the kicker to get her down so low.
I
And
like that.
again, with her motivation was a huge connection to her physical pain. So when she was living at that 7 out of 10, her motivation and her ability to eat the way she wanted to eat was so much harder. And so when she cleaned up all this stuff in her environment, all of those things kind of snowballed in the right direction, making it easier. So I hope that was clear that
No, it
I
was 100%, 100%. It's more to me what I'm getting from you is that not only being pain free, but you can find some underlying causes of why you might be in pain, and some of it could be things that you weren't self aware of, or why certain things that bother you, um, are being so expressed in more of a physical pain, and then you can address that. Oh, I got it. Okay, I was listening. You took me places. You took me
Thank you. That was
places.
a good reiteration.
You took me places. I think for a lot because you seem I like your aura. I
Thank
like the
you.
way you talk. And
Thank you.
I think for people that are watching as well as listening, if they want to reach out to you, what's for your services or what or any questions, what's the best platform that they
So
can reach
there's
out on you?
thanks, Mo. There's two ways that I would recommend. So one is Facebook.
Okay.
So Facebook, facebook.com, I think it's Kate Redford, OMP.
Okay.
Uh, You'll find me.
Yeah, I'll
Kate
find you.
Redford,
We'll
OMD,
have
you'll
it there
find
for
me.
you. We'll have
You'll
it
have me
in.
on
Yeah.
Facebook. And then, as well as I actually run a weekly web class Wednesday nights at 8 p.m.
Nice.
because I have a whole program that I work with people for. So I'm always available there to ask any questions. And as well on my Facebook page, I'm available there and I'm giving you all sorts of information. So yeah, those would be the best places. And I think we'll put the link up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's it's there now. You'll see the
Oh, I
link
love
for
that.
the webinar. So yeah, so that's really where I'm going with all this right now. It's been so much fun.
I appreciate that. And with that said, before we let you go, is there anything that you want to say or add, or something that's important that we should be self-aware
So one thing I would give as a little tidbit is two things. So when you're looking at all the stuff that there is out there to help you, natural, not natural, who cares? Whatever it is there to help you, it's overwhelming. So I'd really look back in your healing journey thus far and really look at what has helped you. And if it was seeing that practitioner, or if it was doing that Tai Chi class, or if it was doing that daily breathing thing, or if it was going for a walk every day and now it's winter and you can't, like I would figure out a way to still do that walk if you can. So I would really get a little bit reflective of what's helped you in the past and then bring that into more now and get more curious about it. But then I would also, my biggest tidbit of things that I think help my people that I work with the most is breath. And it's so simple, yet so not. It's something we do almost 20,000 times a day. And if you can shift how you're doing it to improve it even a little bit, you can get so much bang for your buck. And it's not, it's not, what is the word? It's easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. All this stuff is simple, but it's not easy because it's a daily practice and you got to be a bit disciplined about it. But if you can get a little bit more disciplined with your breath, I have tons of videos on my Facebook page. It's all free. Go and check it out about breath. That would be my biggest tip right now
I
is
like that.
to start.
With that said, thank you for being part of this platform. This has
Oh,
been,
thank you.
yeah, this has been fun. I enjoyed this. It was very enlightful.
Thank you. I love this stuff. Obviously, I love talking about this.
I can tell, like
I
you
can talk
say,
forever.
we're glad to have you join us. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, share with anyone that needs to be empowered and inspired, and don't forget to join us next week for the next episode of Health Your Way podcast. Have a good day, you guys.